Baby.
I go hard in the paint. I go hard in the paint.
I'm ducked off where the loudest legal. Right next door to Cali where the work a lot cheaper. Take you back in the trap in the 86 Regal. With a pocket full of stones booming like it was legal.
Hey, what is going on, Suave? How are you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, brother. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing great, man. And welcome all of you to episode 3 of season 2 of the Man Cave. And anything you happen to hear or see here in the Man Cave?
Oh, it's gonna stay right here in the man cave, you know.
Absolutely. I'm William, one of your hosts, SPG.
And I'm your boy Suave.
Hell yeah. And today, man, the discussion is going to be The Walking Dead. A few years back, we're talking 2010, around Halloween time, man. They dropped a zombie show on our asses. And I tell you, I wasn't ready for it, man. I was not ready for The Walking Dead for a few reasons, but I fell in love with it. They did the first 6 episodes, and then they came back with a vengeance and did many, many more. But what I can say about the first 6, man, were they doozies, man. They got me hooked. What did you think, Suave? Were you ready for The Walking Dead when it dropped? Did you even know about it? Because I didn't.
Man, let me tell you, I did not know about it, but when it dropped and I watched the first episode and I saw zombies, I was like, oh wow, okay, this is a show that I'm definitely gonna like. So I knew I was gonna love it. It's a great show. Let's talk about. I want to jump into some. I'm gonna let you start off, and I'm gonna ask you this question after. Go ahead. Start off. I'm gonna ask you this question.
So I think they cast the cast perfect, man. I think Rick Grimes. They picked the perfect man for Rick Grimes. I love the supporting cast, but what I really loved about the series in general is that they took the material very serious. Meaning, they weren't just telling some sci-fi tale. Like they really wanted to put you in the people's minds and what they experienced and what they would have to go through to survive an apocalypse like that. I really appreciate all the avenues they went down in that sense. Because, like, as you know, hey, Twisted Barber,
what's going on, brother?
As you know, man, The Walking Dead doesn't refer to the actual show. It refers to the people left alive on the planet. They are the true Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But man, I loved it, man.
But you going too fast. Let me bag you up. So
there's a lot to go over.
It is, man. So this is what I want to ask you. At the beginning of it, you know, and I know when Rick he woke up and everything, it was crazy how it started. He woke up out the coma, you know. Did you even see that his partner was gonna be alive in all this?
No.
You know what I'm saying? I was
when it first started, I was thinking 28 days later, basically.
Yeah.
I was thinking, man, he's in a coma. There's no way that anybody's still alive that he even knows. That was my thought. And the way they had that the dead inside, or don't open the dead outside, or whatever, the way the doors were chained, man, iconic. Just an iconic image.
But look, check this out though. Both in The Walking Dead and in 28 Days Later, when they saw that sign and that lit forcing of trying to get out, I bet they didn't open that door.
Oh no, man. No, man, it's wild. And then, you know, I mean, we're gonna jump around. This is basically a post modem. This is about the whole series, really, all the way up to the first big Negan battle. Anyway, that's what we're gonna discuss this episode. But what did you think of the CDC episode? Now, for those of you that are familiar with the comics, it was not in the comics. Now, I didn't even get into the comics until probably around the end of season 2. And then I went through and I read all the comic book material, and I thought it was fire, man. But what did you think of the CDC when they made it there?
Let me tell you this. The moment that they talked to the guy and, you know, he spoke to Rick and he told Rick the secret.
Yeah.
I knew the secret was we're already The Walking Dead. I
Did
knew.
you?
I knew because I'm like, we're at the CDC. They do tons and tons of research there. Um, they would be, if not the first ones, but some of the first few people to figure out that whatever's been released into the world, it's already in us, and we're
Yeah,
late. We're late. We're too late to stop this. You know.
absolutely.
So that
I
CDC, that professor, that doctor that
Dr.
ended up
Jenner.
killing himself, blowing himself up.
Yep.
I think that he was, you know how you get to, man, I tried everything. You can just imagine. He probably was in there for days, months at a
Oh
time,
yeah,
working on this
months.
virus, trying to figure out how can we stop him and his colleagues, and then lost his colleagues, and then he's the only one. And it's
Yep.
like, man, I'm lost. I'm tapped out. I don't know what else to do. Where the virus is already in us. Hey, I'm giving up, you know.
Yeah. So they survived that CDC, man, and they end up on a farm. The whole second season.
Hmm.
I want to touch on this real quick. The creator, one of the creators of the show was Frank Darabont, and Frank
Okay.
Darabont got fired during season 2. He almost finished season 2 and he got fired. Now the character that plays Dale,
Hmm.
were you upset at Dale's death?
I was, man, because Dale, he was changing, man. He was becoming a good guy. Like I didn't like Dale at the beginning though.
Now,
Dale
do
at
you
the
mean
beginning, he
are
was
you talking?
evil.
Are you talking Daryl or Dale? Dale is the
Oh, you're
old
right.
man
You're
who
right.
had the
You're right.
RV.
You're right. You're right. You're right. So
Okay,
that
so
those are I was referring to Daryl. Daryl
yeah,
was the brother, that
yes,
was bullying his younger brother.
yeah,
But
Merle and
you
Daryl, yeah,
said Dale was the
Dale.
one that was driving the RV, fixing on it and things of that nature, right?
Yep.
Um, I
He
saw
was
it
kind of
coming.
the he
I
was
saw it
kind of the
coming.
heart of the show for a minute. He was like the conscience. He'd tell people you don't want to do that, and stuff like that. Whenever you become the conscience
Yeah.
of a show, your days are numbered usually.
Exactly. And look, I saw that he was gonna die next when at the CDC when he convinced one of the ladies, I forgot her name, the blonde head, when he convinced her to leave and not kill herself, but he didn't convince that black lady.
You know,
He
that's
didn't
funny.
convince that black lady, man. So when he convinced her, I said, "Yep, you're gonna die next, or sometime soon." People were dropping like flies in the first
Well,
few
I was
seasons, man.
I was so upset that Carl was down at the Creek playing a game with a damn zombie, and that zombie ate Dale. I was so upset.
That zombie that got
Yes,
away.
yeah, I was so upset about that. But looking back though, Frank Darabont was fired, and that
Mhm.
man was a best friend of Frank Darabont. So when they
Oh
fired
wow.
him, he said, "I want off the show." So
Mm.
I think Dale would have lasted longer in the show if he wasn't so close to Frank. But anyway,
Oh wow. Oh, what
that
about
being,
this though? What about when T-Dog died? The
ooh,
prison after the
now you're
prison
speeding up.
fight.
We ain't there yet.
I know, right?
But hey, all right. So picking up though and moving forward, they were at the farm for a little while. A lot of people didn't like the
Mhm.
second season. What did you think of uh the Rick and what's his name twist? His best friend.
Oh man. So I knew that since him clashing with each other, I knew it was gonna be like, who's the alpha male now? I've been, on his best friend end, he's looking like, man, I've been taking care of these people, and we thought you was dead.
True.
And you want to step in and be the leader? Nah, but then on the other side, Rick is looking at it like, well, you're a leader now and you did a good job, but you're not as good as me because you're trying to direct these people in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? We need to like handle this in a kind, gentle way. I think if the best friend would have continued to lead, those people would have been ruthless. They've been real ruthless. They'd have been like some people that we're gonna talk about later on in this episode. We're not there yet, but what I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Since we're on the farm, what did you think? Did you know that girl, that little girl that they were looking for, did you know that she was in that farm in that
You know,
that thing?
You know what? I didn't at first, but
Mm-hmm.
after a couple episodes, they showed what's his name getting help putting one in the barn, and I thought,
Mm.
oh, I bet you he snatched her up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the time they were like still finding clues she was alive, where
Mm-hmm.
she slept and the canned goods she ate or whatever that one night in that house.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What was his name? Virgil, right? The
Virgil.
man that owned the farm.
Oh, Herschel.
Farm. Herschel.
Yeah, Herschel. Yep, yep.
Herschel.
And anyway, Shane and Rick was a tragic story, man. And let me tell you, when
Mm-hmm.
he killed Shane and then Carl shot him, I was screaming at the TV, man. I thought it was such an awesome moment.
Mm.
But something that let me down a little bit, for them to build up that scene between Rick and Shane, they had to destroy his wife's character in
Oh
my
yeah.
eyes.
Oh yeah.
Just because of the way she pitted those two against each other. She'd
Mm-hmm.
run off to Shane and say this, and then run off to Rick and say Shane's scaring me. Like
Mm-hmm.
that stuff turned me like everybody in the room watching was like, she needs to go.
Yeah, I didn't like that because it was like she had Rick not thinking clearly.
No,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? That I think that situation.
Shane for being crazy, because Shane
Mm-hmm.
was losing touch with reality. But
Yeah,
for
he was.
Shane losing touch, he was still making the proper decisions in the apocalypse. Never let
Mm,
that guy go. They had at the
right.
farm. They had another group, so he was right to kill him out in the woods. But Rick and him
What
just
about
butted heads because Rick wanted to be the hero. He wanted to be the good guy. And in
so
this
what
world,
about let me ask
there
you
is
this
no good
then.
guy.
What about this then? When they went Shane and there was the husband, he was kind of like heavy set,
Yep.
went on a venture to get medication. I think they went to go get medication.
Yeah. Well,
When they
Carl was
went to
shot.
go, do you think that Shane was wrong for shooting that guy and
Oh,
letting him die?
hell yes, he
He
was,
was
man.
wrong, bro.
That's what that was the moment that told me Shane lost touch with reality, because that
Yep.
big guy at the
What about
last
when he
minute,
shaved his head? You didn't
that's
think
what I mean. Like that was the breaking point for him. But what I mean though is like that big dude, he had enough honor. He'd have been like, here, take the stuff and go, and he would have
Yep.
tried to.
Yep.
Nah, man, he didn't have to shoot him in the
He
damn leg
didn't.
and slow him
He
up.
didn't, man. He didn't. I mean,
They
he
had a
was
big
hurt a
meal. They
little.
had a big meal though. It took him a while to eat that dude.
Man, I just could not believe I didn't see Shane doing that. I was like, man, why did he do that? Like, why? You
Yeah.
didn't even have to do that.
No,
You
he
know?
didn't, man. They've been in worse positions, like where Rick left him on the bus
Yes.
and his eyes get all big and he's like, oh no. And then Rick came back. Yeah, because that's your boy. What are you taking him out in the
Yep.
field to try to kill him for? What's wrong with you, man?
Yep. I hated that Shane just flipped like that.
Now, here's
You
something
know.
interesting. I've watched a behind the scenes of the two actors that play Rick and that play Shane, and they approached the director for a different take. They wanted Shane's gun to be unloaded. Click, click, click. Because Shane went out there knowing Shane was going out there to put himself down.
Oh, you think so?
No. That's what the actors wanted.
Oh,
When they
okay.
went out in the
Okay.
field, like Rick was going to pick up Shane's gun and turn to shoot a walker, and it wasn't going to go off. And it was going to show that Shane never planned on killing Rick. He just wanted to pull a gun on him and force the confrontation.
Right.
And Rick killed him. Anyway, that it was supposed to be even more traumatic.
I don't know, man.
That would have been something.
See, I don't think it should have went that way, only because when he did that selfish act of, like, we still have no idea why Shane decided to shoot this man that was already wounded for those zombies to get them. That was, to me, that's like, you're loco.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He lost.
You're loco.
He would have ended up making a power play for Lori. He would have.
He would. He volunteered. He volunteered to go, even though he knew he wasn't the most. He wasn't the fastest person. He wasn't the best quick thinker or more tactical. He volunteered to go. You know, on his own. Well, he had a wife. He had a wife at home. He could have stayed on that farm and like not moved at all. I'm like, hey, somebody else gonna have to go in my place.
Well, things don't go well for them at the farm. The farm basically burns to the ground. They have a horde.
They get overrun.
A herd comes, and they get alerted by the gunshot to kill Shane, or put Shane down. But anyway, so at the end of the second season, we get introduced to one of my favorite characters, Michonne. She's got a sword. She kills a couple of zombies, and then Rick, he lets it go. He tells everybody what the secret is that Jenner told him, that, hey, we are the Walking Dead. We're all infected. You die from a heart attack, trip, fall down the ravine, and break your neck, you're coming back as a zombie. It doesn't matter if you were bit or not.
Right.
That was powerful. As soon as I heard that, I went, oh, they're screwed. An island isn't safe. Like, nowhere's safe if you have elderly or sick. Like, nowhere's safe. Nowhere.
Man, I'll say those people that went out there where it was cold and thinking they was going to get away from the zombie, I think they have the worst to worry about, because think about a crowd of people just in one area, and then people catching pneumonia, the flu, and dying from that, and you just they sleep and they die, and then you're sleeping that soon.
I just thank God that that we don't have smell-o-vision, because putrefied flesh, man, those zombies walking around, you would smell a herd from 10 miles away, dude. It would be so awful. It would be gut turning awful. But all right, so then we got to prison, man. They shortly thereafter they find their way to the prison. And what did you think of the prison, man? I think that's where I would set up shop if I was in The Walking Dead, man. I thought that was pretty slick.
I think that was like a very fortified place to be. I think the inmates were a little out of touch of reality. So they didn't, like that leader that tried to kill Rick because he felt like he was trying to take over anything. That guy, I don't think it was clicking to him that these are zombies and stuff is real. You need to be with a crowd of people, not four or five guys weren't gonna make it.
Well, they were in that prison the whole time.
But they had so much food.
Right. But they were pooping in the cooler or whatever. I tell you what, man, that guy made a critical mistake. He didn't realize how bad it was outside, and that if anybody could survive that, you don't want to mess with them.
Right.
I mean, but Rick broke into prison.
Man, look, let me tell you, they definitely had tons and tons of food. They could have lived there for years if they wanted to. They had been there for a long time, and it was only like 5 inmates. It wasn't even that many. So that food, man, that food could have lasted a long time with just the 5 of them. No back to the other question. Did you see T-Dog dying though?
Yeah, dude. I thought that was.
You did?
I didn't like. No, I didn't see it. I thought he was going to die a couple times before they actually
that's
killed
what
him.
I'm about to say, because
they tricked me a few times.
The on the roof scene when he was fighting the what's the brother Daryl? When he was fighting Daryl, I thought T-Dog was gone then. I mean, we all thought Daryl was gonna die then too, but Daryl, he's different. He's had a lot of growth. He's not a human.
Yeah, man. He's had a lot of growth, man, especially coming from Merle, his brother. His Merle was something else too.
Bro. I mean,
what did you think of the governor, man?
I said it backwards. Merle was the one that T-Dog was fighting.
T-Dog was fighting, yeah.
Merle. Merle cut his arm off.
What did you think of the governor, man, of his introduction? Now, he's in the comic. His introduction is completely different.
Let me tell you, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I liked, out of all the villains, I like the governor bearer. I like the governor, because the governor, he honestly, they never really played on the TV show. They never really showed or told his backstory, what he was before then. But his best friend was there, and his best friend was pretty much spilling the beans, like, hey, he wasn't like this in the real world. He was pretty much a pushover, you know what I'm saying? Right. And now he's running stuff. And I like that gun that he was shooting too, man. That thing was so clean. His signature weapon,
Oh yeah.
The only thing I didn't really care about related to the governor, I wasn't expecting him to have like a psychological hold on his daughter being a zombie. You know what I'm saying? He had his daughter there and everything. I can see it. Yeah, I can see it though. I can see a man going through something like that and not being able to let go of his child, you know what I'm saying? And experiencing, man, my child wasn't able to save my child, and now she's a zombie.
But hey now,
You
would you
know,
have aquariums full of heads though?
man. Now, see, that's what I was telling about the psychological part of it,
Yeah.
man. I just wasn't expecting the governor to be, all the way like that. Like he took it a little bit too far. He went from having his child as a zombie, pretty much a zombie pet, to all these heads and all
Well,
this stuff.
dude, look, man,
That's too much, man.
the governor in the show is a pussycat compared to the governor in the comic. The
Yeah.
governor in the comic abducts Rick and Michonne, and he rapes Michonne and tortures her for like 2 weeks. So Michonne escapes. She gets the upper hand, and she tortures him right back after killing his daughter and taking his eye. She takes a nail gun and like nails his junk to the floor. She does a lot of nasty stuff to him, but he deserved it. But anyway, in the show though, I like the governor. I did not like the governor and what's her name's relationship. The way they wrote that.
Yeah.
I didn't like that because Michonne and her were kind of stuck in Woodbury for almost the whole season. And I didn't quite like that. But now jumping to the next season, I liked how they resolved it. I didn't mind her Andrea dying, even though she lives way longer in the comics. But Andrea dies by the governor. Michonne and Rick end up taking the governor out. But what happens first? He shows up at the damn place with a tank, man. What'd you think about that?
Man, I think the governor was well prepared. Like I told you, I like the governor. I think he was well prepared compared to some of the other villains that's in the show. And compared to one other particular villain that we're going to talk about later, I think if he would have had the willpower to expand, then man, the governor would have took over. You weren't gonna stop the governor, man. He had all the heavy weapons,
Yeah.
Like no one up until I don't know what part you are in the show for people that was watching, but no one had the ammunition and the weapons like the governor. No one.
True. I think the governor made a critical mistake, though. I think he should have took Rick up on his offer at the gate. We can live together.
He should have too.
And the governor could have lived for a long time, man. But yeah, so they take this.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I think I agree with you, and I think also if he would have taken that offer and pretty much, hey Rick, you stay over here, I'm gonna stay over here, but we run this together. I think that there wouldn't be any other villains out there. Right? They would have took him over.
I thought in the second season, if Rick and Shane would have got together and said, "Yeah, she's not worth it," they could have took over too. They could have ruled the planet. Those two guys together. But all right, so they take this governor out in epic fashion. It was pretty neat. And then everybody splits up because their home is gone and destroyed.
Right.
They wander around, man. Well, first of all, what did you think of Herschel's death? Did that surprise you the way he died?
Oh, that hit me, man. That hit me because Herschel, he was a good veterinarian, man. Yeah. He was a caring guy.
He became everybody's dad.
Yeah, man. Like Herschel was a very loving person. And I was thinking like through everything that's going on in the world, all this bad going on, we needed that Herschel, man. Herschel brought people back to reality like, hey, there's good people. There's good things in people. You have to just believe in people. This is just something that we're trying to overcome, and we're trying to overcome it together. So, man, Herschel, man, oh my goodness, dude, that hit me, man. That really hit me.
Yeah, it definitely struck a chord with me too, man. He, like I said, he became the heart of the show. You know what I mean? He really did. So all right, man. So the prison is no more. They wander around for a whole season, man. Each character has a little bit of growth, but they end up in a place called Terminus, man. All roads lead back to Terminus, and we pick up a few extra characters. We pick up Abraham. We pick up Eugene Porter, and what's her name? I'm forgetting her name, man.
Sasha.
No, yeah, we pick up Sasha.
Yep, Sasha and her brother and the brother.
and the brother, Hammer Time. he
Yeah,
killed. He
hammer
killed.
time. He had
Yeah,
the hammer,
he
man.
sure did, man. Um, but yeah, man. So they all end up in Terminus, and here's the part of The Walking Dead that gets me the most, man. That I find the
Go for it.
most interesting, and that is the human component. If you
Mm-hmm.
have children, you can understand this probably more than anybody. But if you have no food and you have no water, and your children need it, and like next door there's food and water, you're gonna find a way to get at that food and water. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna. It's just human nature. We want to take care of our own, and we don't want to see ours suffer. Um, so this in the apocalypse causes major friction, um, because if you are well set, somebody else may not be. So the human
Mm-hmm.
element will try to take it from you. The human element is very, very dangerous, and they end up in Terminus with a very dangerous, probably the most dangerous human element in my mind in the apocalypse, and that's cannibals, man. What did you think of
Mm.
Terminus?
Man, dude, let me tell you, I saw that coming as well, because I was like, there's gonna be different fractions of people surviving.
Mhm.
And there's those type of people in Terminus that they had in their head, look, we're gonna have an unlimited source of food because there's always gonna be human beings.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna be coming this way, and we're gonna get them, and we're gonna just take their things and whatever they come with. We're gonna take their things and we're gonna just keep it. We're not gonna increase our numbers. It's just gonna be us. Um, it was very brutal how they were
Oh,
knocking them out,
oh,
man.
dude, that
Like,
was like a slaughtering line at a
yeah, you don't
at a meat plant,
exactly,
processing plant, man. It really
exactly.
was.
But it like the baseball bat in the back of the head, man, like knocking them out cold. I mean, those people
Well,
never. You can't. Can you even imagine that? Like you're on your
no,
knees, you're blindfolded, and you
I tell
just
you what,
hands tied.
I'd rather be hit with that bat than to just have my neck slit and be awake for it.
Oh
I'd
yeah, you're
definitely
right.
rather be out,
You're right.
but it's still brutal though to see it. I mean, it was like one after another right down the line. Bink, and the other
Yep.
guy slits his throat and leans him over. It was like
Mm-hmm.
it struck a chord, man. It was real visceral watching that take
Man,
place.
at least they had enough common sense and mercy to knock them out cold, man.
Yeah, I
Because
have to agree.
for those people that did not get knocked out cold and they got their neck slit, it's like, man, you have to drown on your blood and then die. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And then
Just to get eaten.
yeah. And Rick, they all get captured, they all get reunited, and they're all held captured. Rick, they all escape because they're badasses in the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the next season, really not a whole lot happens. They meet some new people, they make some more bonds and things like that, but there's no real main villain. But the next villain we're gonna get to, man, was
Well,
pretty.
hold on, back up.
Go ahead.
What
Go
about
ahead.
those two kids that I think Carol had adopted, and
Yeah,
both
yeah,
of them was jacked up in the head.
yeah.
One
Yeah.
of them was like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill everything imaginable,"
Yeah.
and the other one was like,
Carol is a tragic character, man.
"She
She
is,
lost
man."
she was an abused woman. She's
Mm-hmm.
come so far. She lost her daughter, she adopted two kids and lost them.
Mm-hmm.
Um like very, very, very significant. She's had a lot of character growth. One of my favorite characters on The Walking Dead is Carol.
Carol.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
because she'll smile at you and you don't know if she's gonna kill you or give you a cookie. You don't know what is about to happen when it comes to her.
Carol was an assassin, man. She became an
Dude,
assassin because it was unexpected. You're looking at this very petite, fragile woman, and everyone underestimated her.
yep,
Everyone except Rick. Because
yep.
remember, she was out there alone by herself.
Yeah, because Rick said,
And
"Hey, man, okay, we're not going beat for every story
right,
element,
right,
but
right.
Carol killed two people in the prison because she knew they
Mm-hmm.
were sick and thought they'd
Yep.
spread the illness, which already spread anyway, and she didn't know it. But she killed two people, and Rick sent her off on her own. She's the one
Mm-hmm.
who saved them from Terminus,
Oh
actually.
yeah. Oh yeah. Because dude, she is a underestimated
No doubt.
character. And dude, Rick was the only person. The only person out of everyone in that crew, Rick was the only person that knew. You can't underestimate her. Like she's gonna
Uh,
get through even the hardest times.
and
You know,
I hate to say it, but I was glad Lori died. Rick's
Lord.
Rick's reaction to it was visceral and made me emotional for him. But
Hmm.
I didn't. I was glad she was gone. Um, but the next villain we do get into, man, it builds it up a little bit. We meet Hilltop, we meet Alexandria. Our group kind of takes that place over, takes over Hilltop a little bit. But they're given an ultimatum or a thing when they meet this group at Hilltop. They say, "Hey, we've been having a problem with these saviors," and they say, "Who are the saviors?" And
Hmm.
the guy says, "Oh, they're led by a guy named Negan." And right off the bat, Rick and everybody are so cocksure. They say, "Yeah, we'll take them out. Who cares? Well, yeah. Oh, for food and help and stuff. Yeah, man, we'll do it."
Hmm.
And that was a big, giant mistake. But Rick and his crew, I want your opinion on this, Swab. Rick and his group end up in the dead of night. They find out where Negan lives, or they think his outpost is. And
Right.
in the dead of night, they sneak in while people are sleeping and stuff, and they slaughter people in their sleep. Our group,
Yep.
the good guys, supposedly. We slaughter everyone in their sleep, and we take that outpost over. Come to find
Mhm.
out, Negan wasn't even there, and that outpost was Simon's outpost. Then Simon wasn't there.
Mm.
Um, but uh, but anyway, so our group does something ruthless. Now Negan, the saviors are very dangerous, and they needed to be put down probably, but they didn't have any encounter with them. Negan didn't
Mm.
strike first. Our
Right.
group went in and wiped out this facility. What did you think about that?
I think that that was handled
That
totally. It could have been handled wrong. I think that's the one time that I think that Rick wasn't. Well, there's probably other times that Rick didn't think clearly on leading the group in the right direction, and I think that he should have evaluated that situation a little bit more before moving, because with Negan introducing Negan to this video, we finds out we find out that Negan has a psychological hold on
on
all
his
these
people.
people, and a
Yeah,
lot of people don't even want to be in this situation, but they're forced because it's like they've encountered so many situations where whoever tell, then I'm taking that person out. You snitch on this person, oh, they thinking about leaving, okay, and Negan was taking them out, you know,
yeah. Well, you'll
or
see. You'll see that Negan has a psychological hold over all of his people,
mhm,
and Negan is willing to do the most brutalist of things to keep people in line.
right,
If I
right.
have to crush one of your heads to make sure that the other 50 live, I'll do it. It's okay.
Yep.
It's my job. That's the way he looked
Man,
at it.
Negan did not. There was no second chances with Negan. He
No.
didn't. He didn't. He was like a. He was like that king that was very heartless. You know, and until he met Carr, he developed a soft spot for Carr, but
Yeah, he did.
Negan was definitely heartless. Like,
So what did you
let's
think
talk
of the
about. Let's
what do you
talk
think of
about
the dynamic between Nick and Negan? Rick and Negan.
Rick and Negan.
Yeah.
I think
I
it was
loved them when they
enough.
were on screen together. When
Yeah.
they shared the screen together, fighting or just talking, I was
Mhm.
engrossed. I loved it.
I think that it was definitely a good alpha man versus alpha man mental and physical battle. You know, I think that you know how you want to fight somebody so bad, and they're like, "Ooh, I can't wait till this one on one. I can't wait." That's I feel like that's how Rick and Negan was getting to. Like, yeah, we're gonna beat each other. We're gonna come at each other with different strategies. But what we really want that one on one. We really want that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
So,
fans definitely did. We ended up getting it, and I enjoyed it. But let's
mhm.
get to the most controversial thing of this episode. We're about to wrap up
You
here, but
better you better say
uh,
what I think you about to
oh yeah,
say. I'm
yeah,
gonna bring
the
it up. Go
lineup,
ahead.
the
Okay.
lineup.
Okay,
Now
baby.
that the lineup was a make it or break it for the series of The Walking Dead for
Mhm.
many reasons. But one reason is they took one of our favorite characters from us, Glenn, and in a brutal way, and not only that, but we entered into the era of the Negan era. And what I mean by that is Rick couldn't act like Rick. He wasn't the alpha. He had to submit. A lot of people did not like that, but a lot of people left during the lineup. What did you think of the lineup?
Man, dude, it was unexpected. Like, I did not. Negan is so evil, man. He didn't even let Glenn finish saying that he loved. You know what I'm saying?
I'll find you with an eyeball hanging out.
Dude, that was so brutal.
That was brutal,
and then
dude.
It was unexpected that they was gonna kill Abraham.
Even kill him. Yeah, or Abraham. Yeah.
Like Abraham, I was like, okay, he making a point. But like I told you, Negan like to take it to that point and then go over
beyond
the point.
Yeah.
You know, he like to go, he want to make sure that, oh, you got it? Yes, I got it. No, well, you don't have it. Let me make sure you have it.
In my opinion, Daryl killed Glenn. Daryl killed Glenn.
Why you say that?
Because Daryl punched Negan and he said, I told you there'd be none of that. And if I keep my promises. And then he went and he smashed Glenn's head, man. I think Daryl killed Glenn, man.
No, I think that Negan already had it in his mind
that he was killing two of them.
Yeah, that he was going to take two of them. Because I'm telling you, man, when Negan lays down the law, he always go to the extreme. Like, he don't just say it. He say it and take action. Like, so I'm going to do it right here at this moment. This is what's going to happen.
For the people that hated that finale, let me explain to you how it ended. Negan gets out of the trailer. He lines everybody up. He gives a long speech, and then he beats somebody in the head, but you don't see who it was. You don't see who it was, and then it fades to black, and you got to wait till next season. That bothered me a lot. A lot. But I can understand why it turned people off just because a couple of their favorite characters died. But in my opinion, they should have killed Abraham and then
left Glenn.
Yeah, well, they should have killed Abraham. He killed both of them for sure. But
right.
Killed Abraham and then have him go to somebody else and it fades to black. So you don't know who the next person is. And then start with Negan getting punched and then killing Glenn. But
I'm going to tell you this, though. What I do think, I think if Negan would have killed Abraham and left Glenn alive, then I think they would have had better strategies on taking Negan out. Even if, you know what I'm saying, because Abraham, he's a fighter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a soldier. Like
Negan already Negan matched him up and was like, he's getting it. That's why Abraham got it first.
Yeah, he was intimidated. He was like, who's gonna be the most problem if I leave alive? He took him out. And then he took Glenn out because I think that he noticed that Glenn had a connection with one of those women. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, I got to crush you because I need to make a point. I need to make a point right here that I'm serious. And if I leave y'all two couples together, y'all going to come up with something. He was smart. He was very clever.
Abraham was a hothead, Leah, for sure. Hey, Suave, I got a question for you, man.
Go for it.
Do you want to keep going to where we were going to stop, or do you want to stop here? Because we're at
let's stop here,
minutes, bro.
Let's stop here and then continue on my show Thursday.
Awesome, man. So down in the description is Suave's channel. Part 4 of season 2 of Man Cave is going to be on his channel on Thursday, and we're going to finish out talking about The Walking Dead all the way to where it's at now. So should be fantastic because the Walking Dead's only got 8 episodes left, so should be very, very interesting.
And also, man, speaking of zombies, I have my Discord on World War Z. It's in the description. Come play some World War Z with us, man. We on Stadia. Let's get it, man. Let's continue to grow. What's up, Cali Fat? What's going on, bro?
Is that Suave? Yeah, it is, man. And
yeah, man. This is Suave.
You can catch SPG and
Suave, man, on the Man Cave, baby.
Absolutely, man. And we'll see you Thursday on Suave's channel, man. Peace.
The app game, baby. The app game, baby.
I go hard in the paint. I go hard in the paint.
I'm ducked off where the loud is legal. Right next door to Cali where the work a lot cheaper. Take you back in the trap in the 86 Regal. With a pocket full of stones booming like